picks and bans to bring you game number 2 of this exciting series. Sheepii, what a game 1. I don't need to take a moment to breathe because bans are on the way and they are going rapid.
Right, so fingers crossed, no technical difficulties this one. We had a bit of a DC in the first, but so far so good. No not Wukong pick allowed in the series. Silas, Aphelios, Mordekaiser versus likes of the Ziggs, Victor, and the Wu. Sejuani, the go-to priority pick from both sides so far.
So this is almost like a mirror of the previous draft. We have bans haven't changed, maybe the order of the bans, but ATK opting to stay on the blue side. 5 lonely men taking the red side, but this time the Ornn is going to be picked up in the top lane for 5 lonely men.
Yeah, the Forge card for Penta, that's one of his comforts for sure. If it's not the volley, it's the Ornn, and last game, I think second rotation of the ban phase was taken away. In this case, they're going to prioritize it. The ornaments will be a thing as a Lux, the next go-to. A bit of a reverse takeaway, again, not too sure. Is that going to go bot lane? Do we have a Caitlyn ban? Or potentially a Caitlyn pick with the Lux for the bot side. But again, a mental game of chess going on here, trying to almost get in the heads of your opponents and make them miss a pick.
I think if there's anything that we've seen from these two teams is they want to reveal as little as possible until the very end, and then also keep you guessing just a little bit longer.
Alright, so, okay, Orianna pivot, middle lane now locked in.
So it looks like the center still is an option that did work really well for the side of ATK, so I wouldn't be surprised if they pick it up soon. But also if it's left open, it could be something that 5 lonely men look to grab.
We know Kiddo likes the Orianna as well, so a bit of a takeaway in that sense too. Lucian always an option, Ezreal available, but wasn't really able to get to the point where he's allowed to put Nib on his back last game, so good job to ATK basically getting that lead and then snowballing the lead into a victory. Actually remote, or kind of riskily close with how far of a lead they had. On the other hand though, Caitlyn now picked up saying, no, you guys shall not get the Caitlyn likes bot lane that we see you're going for, we just not gonna risk it.
Is ATK and 5 lonely men just swapping picks, saying, okay, you got Caitlyn game 1, you can have a game 2. You got Lux game 1, you can have a game 2. You got Varus game 1, you can have a game 2.
You can see both teams have done their research.
Alright, so it's just a swap of the teams. Didn't see the Orianna last game, but I'm sure
it was banned. It was banned.
Maybe 5 lonely men said, okay, those champions worked for ATK, we'll play them.
Right, so back to the ban phase. Karma says goodbye, as that potential flex pick a little bit too strong. It's pretty decent in the solo lanes too. No signs of Sona though.
Right, so Sona doesn't look to be making her way onto the Rift. We are in the second ban phase. Karma taken away. We'll see what ATK looks to get rid of. Still,
they're taking their time.
It should be a Lux support if I'm not mistaken, but it's going to be the Trundle taken away.
It definitely would have been. The thing is though, like, it's not that Lux is bad at support, it's just that it's really strong with Caitlyn. Lux outside of the Caitlyn combo is just, it's just not bad.
Alright, so one thing that 5 lonely men took away last game, which has been left over in this game, is the Urgot. Be interested to see if it's something that we see from ATK, obviously being a very comfortable pick for the for Jetlust to play on.
Right, so bans now completed. Yasuo taken out, Cassiopeia worked quite nicely yesterday for the likes of Kiddo into the side of Royalty, so maybe that's done the potential pick as a Jarvan. I'm a big fan of Jarvan right now. I think he's a sleeper, like really, really good.
There's a lot of lockup now coming from the side of 5 lonely men. Just with the combos that they can get with the Ornn, with the Jarvan, and the Lux, and the Varus. Like, they've all got some form of CC, some form of lockup. So it looks like they're looking for this wombo combo pick.
Ooh, I know Cassie's gonna be happy with that one. Ashe now locked into bot lane. Caitlyn Ashe, super aggro. Almost like a Lux to an extent, but creates a lot of big potential towards the late game. I don't really... I'm pretty sure we've seen unique play this Ashe pick in the past. And it's really, really good. And with that Caitlyn, like I mentioned, super, super strong for bot lane kill pressure. But again, Jarvan, a champion who likes to gank early and he likes to gank a lot. So we should see a lot more bot lane kill pressure for the side of Nibble this game.
Alright, so not too much has changed for ATK's draft. They keep the Sion, they keep the Sejuani, 2 very solid picks that they really enjoyed. But 5 Lonely Men, they've got 5 new champions this draft. It's going to be Ornn into Sejuani in the top lane, into Sion in the top lane, Jarvan matching Sejuani in the jungle, Orianna matching Echo, I would presume, in the mid lane.
I'm
So
actually
they're just
thinking
waiting
about
to swap.
whether, again, this is kind of could be flexed. You could have Jarvan mid. It's kind of cheese and Echo jungle, but it probably will be Jarvan jungle Echo mid. Yep.
I think that, yeah, they're just probably waiting to swap. I wouldn't expect to see Echo in the bot lane, but then the Lux support. A lot of lane dominance now on the side of ATK in the bot lane specifically. They've got the Caitlyn, which we spoke about extensively, how much of a lane bully she is. And with the Ashe able to put out that volley, it's going to be a very nice ability for them to have. Sheepii, looking at these drafts here, what are your initial thoughts? Do you think it favors anyone specifically?
Man, stolen my question. I was about to ask you the same thing, but you got to it first, so fair enough. Right, so the picks, it's kind of an interesting one in that left side, which was ATK. Do look a little bit AD heavy with the exception of that Orianna and maybe Sejuani. So if Ori isn't able to, I guess, scale up to the point where she's a dominant threat, there could be a bit of an issue with armor stacking. But then again, if I remember correctly, the side of Nibble didn't really have that much tanky, armor building champions. Of course, Jarvan can kind of go late game more tanky, but he's not really like a Sejuani. So overall, I mean, looking at the two comps, I'm going to have to go with probably ATK's comp as my favorite, just because of the fact that, again, they have that Sejuani pick. It's super, super, strong. We've seen not play it quite consistently, and it's one of his comforts. So we'll have to work out what happens bot lane. But what are your predictions for First Blood? What do you think that's happening?
Well, that's the question I was actually going to ask you now as well, just as a follow-up. But bot lane seems to be... I mean, we saw the First Blood in the top lane last game, which wasn't expected. It was an overextension from Pentademon, and then in Sejuani just rinse and repeat, took the Blasting Cone, able to secure that kill.
Yeah, top's an island in this game.
I still want to put my money on the bot lane. I think there's lots of opportunity for plays to be set up. And again, 2 early game junglers. We got the Jarvan, we got the Sejuani. Those are both... I mean, Jarvan level 2 is already effective. Sejuani level 2, she's already effective. Level 3 is nice because then she has the full combo. But Jarvan doesn't need... The W is just a shield and a bit of a slow. So I want to see these junglers being proactive. I expect again to see a top side start from both of the junglers, work their way down either to the mid lane or to the bot lane. I expect the bot lane, but also we have to look at the state of the lane at the time when these junglers get there. If it's just not in a ganking state, you don't want to force something and risk as well.
So the nice thing about Ashe support is you kind of want to shove level 1 in particular super hard, get the wave to basically crash on the enemy turret. That allows you to walk up and then hawk shot from bot lane all the way up to top camps and pretty much reveal the entire jungle, which is huge in terms of the macro decision making and even bigger in comp compared to solo queue. So I'd like to see the bot lane from Nibble playing super, super aggro in the early stages and then getting that vision, getting that information. But at the same time, Ashe is super vulnerable. So if you extend and suddenly, hello, I'm a Jarvan, I'm EQing through your face, the flag into the drag, you're kind of doomed. So it could make for some interesting situations towards the early stages, but I'm definitely going to say there's going to be a First Blood from either side bottom early.
Do you think Varus and Lux are going to be able to play this early laning phase just with all the poke and harassment that Ashe Caitlyn offers?
I want to say
we saw Senna Varus last game, and we saw them under their tower at level 2, level 3 with a quarter of their HP.
Yeah, it's kind of matchup particular situations, but again, bot lane being that main focus in terms of the meta means that the jungle influence is going to have a huge factor on it. So if left to their own devices, the Ashe lane should have pretty strong lane dominance, and we've seen even in situations where the matchup kind of favors the likes of Raven and Tilt, it has been ATK's bot lane able to kind of even it out just off of, I guess, player mechanics, player rank. So curious to see whether we have that matchup of rank and skill. But arguably, if you had to say between the two bot lanes, who do you think individually is stronger between the two sides? As players, as bot lanes?
I would have to say ATK. I mean, they've got the veteran knowledge. They've been playing together as a duo for years now. But ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be making our way on the Rift for game number 2, which might be the final game if ATK is able to secure the victory. We want to know in chat what your guys' opinion is. Do you think it's going to be an AK win? for a Nibble win? Will they be able to bring this to game number 3, or is this going straight to a 2-0 victory for ATK?
Alright, so it's going to be Echo mid, Jarvan jungle, as predicted in the first place. Nothing too extra spicy. As for bot lane cleanse, again, they go to for Raven, which I'd like to see into the Ashe support. You generally do want to. It's almost like a Leona to an extent, especially post level 6. As for Klax as well, sitting on the cleanse means that Lux's lockdown potential, not as strong, but at the same time, you can't really cleanse the knockup from Jarvan, or the lock in your own place.
It's not worth the cleanse in my opinion. There's better things to cleanse, like the Sedge ult. I think that's where it's going to be the most useful. Maybe even the Ashe Crystal Enchanted Arrow. I mean, you get hit by a long range Ashe arrow, you are stunned for what, 3 seconds? And in League of Legends, that's an eternity when you've got people attacking you.
Ooh, okay, so Q connects onto just Red Raven. Return fire, not going to be able to find the poke for Klax, that long range. Let's see if he abuses it. Again, Unique trying to step up. He has that Ashe damage pressure outputs. Pretty long cooldown on the volleys, so you got to make sure you do hit it. And in this case, Klax going to be traded back, but it's definitely going to be ATK looking to try to step up here in the 2v2 fashion.
This Ashe is just annoying.
You have to flash. He does, but so late that the trade is done, and Raven has to reset exactly what you want to see from the side of ATK.
And that's already a level deficit now for the side of 5 Lonely Men.
Do we get the hook shot?
ATK gonna hit that level 2.
Is. He knows how to play the Ashe support. I like it.
He's going to track that Jarvan as well, get some information there. Jarvan did start topside and made his way after his Raptors to the bot side on his Wolves now. Binding lands onto Lux. Going to actually take a few tower shots, taken a bit low. But there's no kill threat there. So Lux going to be able to walk away quite easily there.
The first game we saw ATK getting a lead, and off that lead will basically slowly but steadily chip away, nibbling away at the side of 5 Lonely Men, and basically just translated that small lead into a pretty big victory. So again, off the bat, they have that small lead, they force Raven to reset. Now Caitlyn in a good spot, up on farm, backs early, gets a bit of an item advantage, and now it's going to be a Raven until it's no, the first blood mid, we missed it. Apparently it's going to be again Kiddo just not having a fun time.
We've got to get our predictions better here. We keep saying bot lane, and the players are giving us something completely different.
Yeah.
Kiddo though going to immediately TP back to the mid lane now. Doesn't want to miss out any more than he's already given away.
Yeah, so both
and this will be a good time for Orianna to reset.
Most mid laners opting to go for the TP means they have that reset potential. Cancel on Slayer. Use Tron. Waiting in the shadows. I'm gonna flash still available.
He's looking on this Jarvan, but Orianna should be able to get out quite easily.
Built with the movement. You see it for the shadow. Unique as well though. Scuttle Crab.
Ooh, so Lux is going to be shown.
Slayer TP back.
And it looks like who's going to be this first Kiddo already making his way down Dragon Drag onto the Sejuani, followed by the binding from the Lux, going to get locked up, going to flash out. Varus going to be on the receiving end. The piercing arrow comes in, takes down the Sejuani, and ATK forced to back off, and that's going to be Scuttle secured.
Raven able to find himself that window back in the game in the form of the Sejuani. Thank you, friend. I will take my food, and let's see if I can grow into a strong boy. On the other hand though, middle lane, we did have that reset coming through, so both teleports now burnt. Still pre-6 means no shockwave, so the kill pressure not quite there just yet. As top lane again, just a bit of an island. We shouldn't really see too much coming through as mid side, like a drag connecting. Playing a bit of trouble.
Orianna should flash here, but Sejuani is here for backup. The Q does land from Echo, but it's going to be okay. Orianna going to be able to hold on to a flash for that moment.
Alright, so top teleports, advantage in favor of the side of Giannis. Let's see if he uses it for the potential Drake fight coming up in the next few minutes. As for bot lane farm, still slightly favoring the side of ATK, as they do have the wave positioned on the turret. Should look to try and shove now as we have a cheeky reset from Raven and Tilt. But first Drake, which way is it going? What are your thoughts?
I've definitely seen a lot of Drake control for Nibble. They've prioritized this objective. They were able to secure the first 3 Drakes last game. So I definitely think that's a priority for them. Herald though, I would say that that's something ATK showed some priority on. And being on the red side, it is definitely easier for the side of Nibble to secure this Drake. just being in general positioning, and then the vice versa for ATK. They're able to secure the Herald a lot easier.
So you can kind of see how Celt's plan to play for the vision game, which is a really nice little lax. You want to play aggro, get like picks, like for example this, just harassing and Nox, try to get an opportunity for Kiddo to get back into a good spot. But at the same time though, Unique's more staying in bot lane, using the Hawk Shot to reveal. Ashe very vulnerable in the jungle, especially pre-6, so you kind of just want to play for that experience, try to get that Crystal Arrow unlocked as soon as possible.
Alright, so now we do see the bot lanes have a reset.
Drake.
And Drake is going to be the objective that Nibble wants to start off here. Sejuani is close by, but the numbers are in favor of 5 lonely men, where we see Kiddo's already shoved in mid. He's able to rotate, where Orianna will be meeting the wave. I don't think we'll be seeing a contest.
Penta!
Solo Bolo coming in for Jetlust. Penta getting taken down by...
Not Penta series. I hyped him up, but he's let us down. Jungle though. Ooh.
Going to walk into the Sejuani, the flag going to be the position needed.
Raven, chunk down though. Unique looking to try to step up. Raven still 5. The lock in place. Unique able to find himself a cheeky kill. It's going to be the first of the bot lane for the side of ATKs now. The return flag and drag into the mixed focus just dies as Tilt opts to go for Clax instead. But here comes a Lucian feet up, trying so hard, but just ATK were preventing him from getting any sort of gold, any sort of lead, because they know Kiddo is that player to watch out for.
I mean, he blows the flash, they try and get something, but getting onto the Sejuani is not really the target that you're going to be able to burst very quickly. You already got those HP items in, so the Bammy Cinder able to pick up, so he's going to be a lot more tankier and not really going to be at risk of dying there.
Alright, checking vision. Gotta check if it's still in stock. Plates mid. And Penta somehow managing to die into the likes of the up lane Sion. Again, the knock-up, Jetlust.
We did see this last game where he died to the Sion, but then he was able to get the return kill. So let's see if history repeats itself a bit here.
It was Penta able to find a cheeky kill. In this case, it's going to be Jetlust back with Vengeance. The shockwave goes big. Like I said, level 6, you have to watch out.
Flag and drag knock-up comes in. Almost the 1-for-1, but Tilt flashing out at the last minute now.
Yeah, playing with fire, but it worked out, so big commitment. And it's going to be, again, another fight coming through a Scuttle Crab. Not going to be allowed.
The stun should come in from Sejuani, not in range to get the E down. Kiddo though made his way, flash coming out of Jarvan. Those Ashe autos are so annoying with the slow, but the ultimate comes in from Echo, able to pick up the kill onto Ashe. Sejuani still going on Jarvan, but the call of the Forge God comes in, going to knock up Sejuani. One more auto should do it, and Kiddo able to pick up the double kill onto the Sejuani, but Sejuani also be able to pick up the kill onto Jarvan, at least getting a trade of 1 kill.
That's a jungle for jungle. Ends up with ATK only having 1 kill lead, as the gold a lot closer in this case. Like I said in the last series, it's a case of second game, teams are here to party, teams are here to fight. First game, they're kind of sussing each other out, saying like, let's see if anything's changed, like what's new with you. Game 2, no, we want to bring the pain and bring the pain fast. So 9 kills, 9 minutes, and gold almost non-existent in terms of difference.
I mean, in League of Legends, the Bloodbath is always a great series to watch. It's action-packed, the guys are battling it out. And we're always happy to see a lot of kills early on, and I'm hoping it keeps going at that pace. Herald now should be the next objective that teams would focus on. Sejuani is already in that area, but with nothing else on the map, that's where we are hoping to see the next fight now.
We can kind of start to see the experience difference with bot lane. Unique being a lot more bottom, and Tilt, who's been roaming around the map a little bit more, so with Raven being slightly ahead in experience to Clax, but at the same time Unique a little bit closer to that level 6. And like we said, oh, hello, shutdown. Apparently mid lane, jungle and mid v jungle and mid, as Boostron able to just flag and drag out. Slayer surviving with a skin of health, but has red, so he's a little bit safer as the plates will go to the side of ATK with 4 minutes left.
Echo not having anything defensive there, the ultimate's still on cooldown, so should have possibly been playing a bit safer, knowing that the threat is there with no safety nets. And ATK, they see the opportunity, they seize it, and very well played by them.
Red side TP, Shara locks Kate in place. Unfortunately not going to find a Raven just yet. Summon a
Ace in the
heal.
hole was used, so that risk of a Caitlyn ultimate coming in is no longer there. But this tower going to get chunked very hard as Raven forced to reset you.
Right, Drake on the map shortly. Again, just trying to walk in, see if he can find any form of opportunity. Rewind of time now available. He does look. Slayer that had shockwave still on cooldown. So small window to all in. He finds it. He's looking.
Does get the stun.
Forge God
is there as well. No flash. Knockup does not land though, and Slayer going to be able to walk away from that one. But the threat is still there with the rewind available. A tower dive is an option, and with 2 members of 5 lonely men being around, threat is imminent. It looks like they're just going to back off.
Yeah, cheeky walk down.
Dragon is the next objective that they're looking for.
Really unfortunate the Forge God does not actually manage to hit Slayer, because that definitely would have been a death. It's not a Dragon objective.
Sejuani looks like she's going to be going for the Herald now, so just looking to trade objectives. 5 lonely men should definitely secure this Dragon here, uncontested. We've got the Ash from over the wall that is a potential steal, but no real threat from the side of ATK. They're quite happy just to trade.
They might try to pick Raven though.
Yeah.
Unique. Oh, 2,000 health left on the Dragon. Vision's gonna be there. Binding finds nobody. Killer for the flank for the behind the pit rotation. Juice trying to knock down a little bit lower, but it should be perfectly fine. As again, like you mentioned, it's gonna be Rift Herald, the objective.
Alright, but look at the flank coming in here now. The Crystal Arrow comes out from Caitlyn, going to lock up the Varus. Varus going low, but we do see Kiddo though onto the back line, but the heal is going to be used just to give that extra movement speed to go away. TP has coming from Sign, unstoppable. Sign comes in, going to connect with the Jarvan though. The Lux though able to pick up the Caitlyn, but not enough damage to take her down. Now Lucian beat up is going to get hit by the Caitlyn ult, but the ultimate comes out just in time to rewind and get that extra bit of health back. And it looks like there should not be anything more going on now. Both teams, they've got their victories there. ATK picking up that kill onto Jarvan and should be backing away.
Yeah, I mean, the bot lane trade is somewhat even, but you did not manage to catch... Oh, hello, not pulling the trigger.
Well, I say this. Echo, though, able to get over the wall. Does go on the back line, though, but going to get taken down from Caitlyn. Doesn't have the damage to perform a sneaky move like that just yet.
Every fight, ATK somehow able to find a slight advantage. It might be small, but these small leads snowball into big leads. Later we go, as now 8-4, they're up a substantial amount of gold at 13 minutes in. But again, Nibble kind of playing for that Drake objective control, as they are 2 dragons towards that 4 soul point.
So Hextech being the soul this game. Nice soul is going to give some nice movement speed buffs, and I think it's armor buffs as well, so be very good for the team, if I'm not mistaken.
Alright, let's see if we get anything top lane. Jarvan kind of hovering. As the bot turret does drop in just a second, that opens for more of an interesting macro game. I'm kind of curious to see whether we do get bot lane. Unique and Klax playing for mid, but the Orion and bot lane yet to really have teleport back off cooldown though, so as well as no real objective to be focused just yet as plates drop off 14 minutes in.
Alright, so this has been an objective that we've definitely seen ATK favor. They want these early towers, they want to open up the map, able to have that ability to rotate a lot faster and just give more area there. Sejuani though on to the Echo though, going to lock him up, going to have the E to stun, followed by the ultimate Glacial Prism coming out. But it's not going to be enough to take down the Echo. He's just going to walk out of that.
I was just sending a message kind of attempt, saying I can pull the trigger if I want to, but I'm not going to. This one is merely a warning. Watch yourself.
It's quite a big message to be sending.
Yep. It's all about that sub-communication, you know? Glance of an eye. Yep. Trigger pulled out.
Crystal Arrow comes out though, going to go wide though. Still going to look to go on to the Lux though. Lux going to flash out, going to get out of the way.
Commitment.
You see the TP though coming in from Ornn though. Zion saying, I want this Lux. But it looks like he might have to pay with his life though.
Yeah.
But being the tanky boy he is, going to be able to just walk away.
They committed a lot for
men choose not to overcommit here.
The Lux. Ion apparently dying over the wall. I think Jet blind queued that, I'm not too sure.
But this respect.
They get the tier 2 too. The base yet to be cracked. Turtle still intact.
Alright, so Echo in the side lane. He's farming up He's trying to get stronger and be able to pick up that tier 1 turret.
Yeah, so kind of the same situation as before, where we have a thought, bit of an engage coming through. It looks like a big shockwave. Hello, goodbye.
Ooh.
2 members dropping for the side of Nibble, and the gates are going to be open. Inhib now in sight, but please no, don't let them just walk through like the last time.
Alright, so last time we saw that tower drop, it was very shortly followed by a push the game, but Court of the Forge God comes in, knocks up 2 members of ATK. The Sage on the back line, going to quickly take down Iltosaurus, so Echo has made his way. The cleanse comes in from Caitlyn, but it's not enough. Echo going to be able to pick up that kill onto Caitlyn. The flash comes in, Echo picking up a double onto the Orianna. Now the Ashe and the Echo. Sejuani able to stun, but it comes with the rewind from the Echo now. Ornn chasing down this Ashe. Echo though 1 E away from the stun. Sejuani able to secure that though. Ornn still on the back line. Nico going to be a target as the E becomes available shortly, but it's not going to be enough. Ashe taken down by the Ornn and not going to be the last one getting away. Sion just wasn't in that fight to begin with.
This is the issue with Lux, in that she's super vulnerable. You're kind of playing a champion that wants to trade without taking your return damage. And we've seen back-to-back Telesaurus kind of being picked off. I mean, he managed to get away the first time with a Slither of Hearth, and then Jetlass had other plans, was able to then sort of get that last little bit of damage. And then this fight, Tilt picked off yet again. They do end up trading it back, however, as now Dragon should be spawning the next few moments. But it's kind of looking like a repeat of that first game where ATK were just able to get a lead. It's just a lot more blood and back and forth.
ATK has opened up this mid lane extensively as the inhibitor now, and the 2 towers that stand in the way of that nexus, of that W.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just the W.
The tides are turning now. 2nd, 3rd Drake is going to go over to ATK uncontested. So they start to say, okay, cool, we've got towers, you were taking Drakes, now we want Drakes. And ATK just remaining in a driving seat here.
So it's a situation of Nibble just clearing a wave, slowing the game down, and letting the boy who could, Kiddo himself, just get objective on the side lanes, get that solo gold, get the gold plates, get the bounties. He's now trying to find the 1v1 shockwave. Ashe ult.
Just on arrow comes in, but the rewind is just in time to dodge that ult. And shockwave not going to be enough, and Kiddo able to get out of that trade completely.
Right, so yeah, that's a commitment. Unfortunately, not able to find himself the Slayer kill. That would have been desperately gold that he needs to try Snowball and keep Nibble alive. Again, this is the best of 3. We had ATK taking the first game of the series, so they don't really have much wiggle room left, and they're kind of getting backed up against the wall in this case. So if there was a point for Kiddo to start carrying, this would be your moment right now. No pressure.
I mean, the difference that we see this game is he actually has kills, so that's a nice starting point.
I think he
ended last game with 1 kill. Whereas early on we saw him pick up 3 early kills in this previous fight, another 2 kills. So this is the moment for him to put Nibble on his back. I hope he hasn't skipped back day because it's going to be needed today.
What can you do?
3 members being sent to deal with Kiddo, but it looks like he's going to go for Unique.
Locked in place.
Crystal Arrow comes out, that ultimate is available, but he's going to delete the Ashe straight away and should be able to walk away with the move 3, but it looks to ult back in. Jarvan though, missing the flag and drag, not able to get to his team to ult in time.
Yeah.
And Kiddo without mana now shouldn't be able to do so much more, but flag and drag should be available soon. The Forge comes in, Ornn on the back line, Caitlyn knocked up, followed by flash from the Caitlyn, actually able to get away though. The Cataclysm comes in, Caitlyn though still alive. Juicetron going to be taken down. All that though, Kiddo on the background, 1 more auto is going to be enough. The Shockwave comes in, but doesn't connect with anyone. Sion though does charge up the knockup, able to get the shutdown.
Fight can go either way.
Echo picked up by Orianna now. 3 versus 3, a tank and the AD carries available. Unstoppable comes in. Pentademon going to take that final spark, comes out though, but it's not going to do too much damage though. Pentademon going very low. Ashe though landing and
Raven do the best he can to cut his way out of this one.
Extended stun. Raven though going very low, and it doesn't look like he has the health. No mana really from the 2 tanks, but it looks like just their sheer health levels is going to be enough to get them that kill on to the Varus.
Reset gates.
ATK winning that fight.
Nash can be attempted. This is kind of a risky one though. Like I said, gates on the map means quick rotations. We saw it exactly in that fight. It started with a bit of a 3v1, turned basically ATK from Predator to Prey back to Predator again, as players just resetting off base into those gates, able to then access those fights. So I like the fact that ATK have opted not to really go for this Nash attempt, as it is a really good spot for ATK in terms of gold, but at the same time they can very easily throw this with a bad macro decision making. But if there was a team to play the macro game correctly, it probably would be ATK.
So that fight went on so long that Ash, being the first one picked off, comes back into the fight, shoots a crystal arrow from base, connects it onto Tiltosaurus, and is able to secure that kill, if not helping win that last bit of the fight for ATK.
Right, so the vision game. Echo, kind of champion that does have broken passive damage. That auto attack quite literally one-shot unique from half.
Alright, so the squishy members of ATK now on this top side of the map with the two tanks should be making their way up as Baron does become a realistic threat that both of these teams are able to do now.
We haven't really seen much from Raven yet. He's had one or two like decent snipes. Outside of that, just non-existent.
Oh, Sejuani then pulls the trigger onto the Lux. Lux deleted straight away. Call to the forward guard is to follow. Does knock up one member, but Juicetron now getting hammered away by the Sejuani. Sejuani so tanky. Sion though on backline. Jobin though getting taken down. Echo not in this fight. He's actually on the backline, but he's not able to pick up anything just yet. He's going to get auto away, but the ultimate is going to follow onto Unique. He's going to get taken down, flashes over the wall, gets out, but not is going to be able to get that slow. One more auto. It looks like he is going to get the slow. He's going to put down the shield, and Enter Demon going to be able to tanking up, going to be able to tank the damage, but that's 4 members of 5 lonely men getting taken down just for that one pick on the Ash, and that's going to be Baron started off from the side of ATK.
Right, so Nash again started up red side TV, looking to try to re-enter this team fight. Echo, unfortunately, burning ult last 5 minutes. He won't have the attempt to get out again. However, Tilt getting vision, final spark in hand, 5,000 health left on the Nash on the top side, looking to try to play for time. Jin feed up, just wants to get past it. Up
here. Luke Jin is... Jet doesn't take
Smite on cooldown, so they're opting to reset the Nash instead as they do just fully commit.
Oh, Sejuani also does connect to Kiddo. Kiddo though going to try and walk away. Sound there is going to be there to block him. Does throw out the double T to get the shield. Going to get the double stun. Going to get the movement speed to get away. But it's just going to be a moment of time. That ultimate is available very soon. Should be able to get away. Does ulti. Does put down. Is able to pick up the Caitlyn. What is this man?
Yeah, he trades.
I think he's dead, but he still makes it a 1-for-1 trade.
He trades a 1-for-1, but Dragon again seems to be the main focus with Nibble, able to find their third, and Nash just looking to be slowed down. Maybe a Juicetron potential for a contest, but I like the fact that ATK opted to rather drop the Nash, look to catch off Kiddo, because if you risk it and Echo steals that, that's a big opportunity for Nibble to get back into this game, and that's exactly what Nibble are trying to play for. The game kind of slowed down, Smite on cooldown for not, means don't flip it, slow and steady, wins the race and gets the base, and this is ATK's game to slowly but surely chip towards that series and game victory.
My word, that top lane fight, I can't believe that guy survived. I'm just absolutely overwhelmed.
Yeah, you traded 1-for-1 in a 1v4 situation. Not much, you know, just a little bit of this, a little bit of that, the special.
Played every second to the T.
Right.
There was no room for error there, and you know, he went down fighting. He went down for a lot. I mean, he had a bounty, so gave up a bit.
There seems to be the
very well played there by Kiddo.
Only men like strat. We've had several different rosters from them, but there's always just one player in particular that kind of likes the side lane, and then look to Snowball and carry. It's kind of like not back in the day with the Cassidon, where you'd always just go side lane.
Alright, so we do see Baron is where these players are hovering now.
Time.
Lux though going to actually take the base gate to get behind him, is going to get pinged out. Should be...
That's not it, that is not yet get out.
She's been found. She does land the full combo onto the Orianna, but Orianna is tanky. It's going to get absolutely deleted. Now Ornn going to be the next top. The ultimate coming out, going to be met with the Ash Arrow. This Ornn is tanky, but there's no backup. Ornn though going to get hit by the shockwave, a lot used. On the back line. Doesn't have the damage just yet though. The ultimate comes in. One more auto should be. Goes for the Caitlyn. Doesn't connect though. The Cataclysm comes in. Going to take down the bot lane of ATK. You know, not stopping here. Puts out the W. Going to lock up this Sejuani. And then there's 2 members down from the side of ATK. With Slayer having to run away and 5 lonely men. But it looks like they've left Varus alone with the Sejuani.
Yeah, Raven's not a champion.
This tank meta, this ADC
Raven is not a champion.
There's just no opportunity. It looks like it's going to be the reset that Nibble will be forced to do here.
This game is accelerated so fast because of the fact that we had plates and objective taken. So it's kind of like a late game macro, but with no ADCs, because neither of them have that 2-3 item power spike yet. So Raven's not a champion. Klax is doing as much as he could in that last fight, but you can kind of just see how far ahead Kiddo has managed to get off of these side lane like fights and small victories, which is exactly like WinCon that they were playing for. Play for the objective, play for the side lane, and we just had fight after fight, Kiddo just trying to clutch out and kill and trade as much as he can.
At this point, we're just watching for the
highlight
plays
reel
from Kiddo, because I mean, he's got his fancy feet. He's finding those. He's going for those those highlight reel plays. He's going to be in the frag vid, the montage. He's making all those plays. And definitely giving us a show today.
Looking to get the stun. He finds the big damage chunk to half. The pullback's going to be there as he opts to back away, trying to time out the potential.
Shockwave comes in. The crystal arrow also coming in from Ash is a bit of a defensive measure, but looks like Kiddo's just going to walk away. The side of ATK has made their way up into this top side to try and protect this Orianna. But that threat coming in from Kiddo now. 3 items, 5 stacks on the Dark Seal. He is a scary threat from 5 only men.
Right, so 24-13, goal lead 8,000 in favor of the side of ATK, but again, the game is very much slowed down here. Nibble's been consistently able to stop this Nasher attempt. Before this point, before the last 5 to 6 minutes, we've had ATK kind of winning every team fight in some fashion, whether it would be the team fight itself or just getting an objective as a trade-off. In these fights, it's kind of been going much more even because of the fact that Echo's just able to get in, get out, and get back in and trade multiple plays for the one. So he's kind of effectively slowed the entire game down. And you don't really want to be that player who's picked off the last fight. Tildosaurus picked off in this fight in case it's going to be Juice Tron. He's able to now flash away and then flag and drag out. So he does end up surviving as the fight yet to really go anywhere.
I mean, that Varus isn't doing any damage to that side. But I just must commend Kiddo. Yeah, I mean, the picks that he's finding in the fights, he's making sure that
he has to.
The damage dealers are taken care of. That Caitlyn, that Ashe, they're dead. They're taking away that threat of the Baron as well, because you need that DPS for the Baron. And a lot of flip comes in though. We do see though, ATK has pulled the trigger. Glacial Orb, Cataclysm coming in from the Job, and the Job going to flash up for knocking up a few members. Varus though orting away, but Kiddo going to be hit by the Crystal Arrow, going to be hit by a bunch of CC, forced to use the ulti defensively to get out. ATK now in the driving seat. Quite strong here, all no charges in. Kiddo though looking for the next opportunity. Puts down the W, flashes on to the Ashe, doesn't have the defense, does go golden though. Varus though able to pick up Ashe though. Kiddo is still alive.
The carry is dead.
By the Orianna, but onto the back line. Demon trying to pick up something, not still alive, living. Varus
Raven, he's a champion.
He's trying to be going to try something, but it's not enough. And the triple kill coming in for Orianna, and that is going to be the Drake secured for the side of ATK.
Alright, Tilt, run, Tilt. So something I was going to touch on.
We saw him get deleted earlier. The binding lands
before that last fight is that if Kiddo misplays these fights, if he like enters the wrong point, gets CC'd, which is exactly what we saw there, the entirety of a Nibble's team fight is done and dusted. Like, he is the player that needs to bring the heat. So we basically just need ATK to lock him down, potentially get him to burn that ult early. Suddenly his life's a lot trickier. He then just has the Zhonya's, which we saw him play with quite nicely, as he did opt to back up and re-enter. So the team fight itself going kind of even, but ADC is now getting towards that 3-item power spike, which we already have on Klax. Raven a little bit further behind on the curb, as he's about to finish the 3rd item, but they should become more relevant with each team fight, which is going to make the game a bit more interesting.
Absolutely, I 100% agree with you. We should see a lot of change coming in. It will be nice to see the AD carries actually doing something, because at the moment now it's just been a one-shot this AD carry, one-shot the next AD carry. Kiddo looking for something, but no opportunity is there. But I must commend ATK, especially Unique in that last fight. As soon as Kiddo was spotted, that arrow came out straight away to stop the dash from the E and stop the stun onto the members of ATK, and just shifting that fight in their favor.
Alright, so again, Nash still on the table. Neither team allowed to take the objective, as it's been Fiesta after Fiesta after Fiesta. So they have the Ashe pick, which means pick potential is an opportunity. We've seen in the past when it was Klax playing ADC Ashe, he likes to kind of hover mid, get a cheeky pick. In this case, Unique, instead of holding it for team fights, not really looking for any hard engage. I lied, there it is.
Trigger has been pulled. Lux is a target again. Rinse, repeat, not able to take down Tiltosaurus, and it's just been unfortunate for him. He's been at the cutting block of ATK. Every opportunity that they've seen, they've taken him down. ATK looking to siege into the space. The Scion is such a tanky boy.
Several times not tilted to the wrong place at the wrong time though. Forge Guard finding
Forge Guard comes in,
connection.
going to knock him in. The Claxo
Cataclysm.
going to get taken down. Juicetron with the Cataclysm going to be able to secure that kill though. Slayer with the Shockwave is going to be defeated by Varus. That damage coming in the shutdown. Ooh, this is a Scion tanky boy. He's got 4 members of 5 lonely men hammering away, and this guy's not dying and eventually go down. And the shutdown, this is Baron angle now with 1 member left alive and no one going down. Well, Lux going down a bit early, but Lux up now. This should be the Baron coming in. Smite is available on Sejuani for the hero steal, but into 5 members, this should be the objective secured for Noble Esports.
Yeah, this is an interesting one because they had the pick, managed to then get picked off themselves. I think Slayer cannot afford to get caught off. He is huge in terms of item and gold and output damage potential, but if he gets one shot, ATK are really in a bad spot. They don't really have that much damage outside of him, but National secured. Curious to see whether this is going to be ATK playing this part of the game correctly, because if they misplay, definitely can be a quick and fast end with the amount of damage on the form of Echo. You can quite literally 2 to 3 hit turrets, so you need to be kind of careful.
One thing also to note is we're seeing those ornaments coming in. So for Jarvan, Echo, and Varus, we've got those mythics buffed. So they're going to be a lot stronger coming into these team fights now. 3 items on both AD carries now. He was able to pick up that Lord Dominic's, which will definitely help into the likes of the Scion and the Sejuani though. But with Drake being the next objective here, ATK looking to get that early prior, just a minute and a half before the spawn. This should be the main focused objective now. Soul Point for the side of Nibble. 1 more to go for Soul Point for ATK.
Jealous.
Kiddo though going to be meeting this tanky Scion while Nibble choose to siege down the mid lane. Finally able to pick up that tower.
ATK have to be very confident in the way they pull this trigger, because if this fight goes wrong, that is game 3 on the table.
Kiddo though on the backline though is going to meet the Sage though. The Sage going to be able to zone away this Echo, but it looks like Cataclysm comes in, not going to do enough. Jutron going to be able to pick up that kill onto the Clax though, while Sejuani does take down the Varus. Shutdown coming down. Jutron though on the backline is going to flag and drag into the base of ATK, hoping to get away, isn't able to. The gets cancelled, not going to be able to take the base gate. But it looks like Echo has TP back into the fight. He's healthy, he's tankier. Nibble is looking to siege and knock open this inhibitor turret.
Oh, he has a rewind available. Big lock on the front line.
Is able to get the 2-man stun. The Assault is going to lock him up though. Forced to use the rewind though. Sejuani in the front line, going to get hammered away. They don't look like too much damage, but then Kiddo just comes in, leads the Sejuani. That's a huge pick coming in. Where did that damage come from? He's picked up some very strong items. He's going towards that Void Staff, so he does have that magic pen. But it looks like they're going to start hammering away at this inhibitor turret. Kiddo is looking. He doesn't have that ultimate just yet. He does have the Zhonya's available.
He's looking to try to distract the team while they do get that objective.
But the thing is, Drake is up now, so if he can just keep the team busy, that's Soul secured. Tiltosaurus has made his way up now to just support a bit, but 5 lonely men going to be securing this objective and going to be picking up the Hextech Soul.
So something to keep in mind that's going to be a bit interesting now is Kiddo is almost maxed out. Like, he's almost completed his build. At that point, he's not really going to get stronger. All that thought though, T5 about to break out. Nobody really...
So they picked up the Soul now. The Court of the Forge Guard was used, but it doesn't look like anything has mounted from it just yet. TP Oriana did TP mid lane just to be the backup, but this is the point where Nibble do want to reset. They've just opened up, they've just secured 2 towers and a dragon. So
Inhib
some money
wasn't
in their
cracked though,
pockets.
so they don't have the supers, which might be quite big, as Inhib maybe yet to respawn from the side of Nibble. But again, also Kiddo almost having full bold means that if ATK can kind of slow it down a bit, their potential
Crystal Arrow comes though onto the Ornn, not the first target that you want to engage on, but looks like the TP is going to be met with the Sign. The final spot comes from Lux, not already half HP, Pentademon half HP, going quite low. Kiddo is not there, he's taking the base gaze to get the flank though. Varus though going quite low, going to be forced with a shield bow onto the backline though, should be able to take down the Orianna. Caitlyn though picking up two, taking down the Varus, picking up the double kill, but Ornn able to return that onto the Caitlyn. Order the Forge Guard used again, it is available, should be able to stun up, but looks like Kiddo wants to get onto this backline. The back is going to come in from Sejuani, that's going to be away, and the Crystal Arrow just enough to stop that Echo from getting the kill. Sion should eventually go down. Let's see this Echo damage coming in.
Echo's a fun and interactive champion for the whole family to enjoy.
But eventually Raid Boss Slayan going to go down, and 5 laning men looking very strong now in these last few fights. Gold still not in their favor, but a lot of objectives. Unique though being the next target and just deleted by Kiddo here.
This is going to be such a frustrating game to play from the ATK side. Like, they're doing so well, everyone's so fed, but it does not matter because Echo was given that window of opportunity to try side lane, get the plates, get the gold, get the turrets, get the bounties, and effectively just taken the entirety of Nibble's like gold and income and fund and just put it onto that one player. And if there was a player in this game to put it onto, it would be Kiddo.
Alright, so full build now from Kiddo. As you said, those items are no longer... He's not going to get stronger from here. He's going to have the pots. But Baron, next objective that these teams are going to fight for, and I think this is the area where this game is either made or broke for either team. This is a very big objective. It's going to give them the buff. It's going to give them that last bit of experience they need to get max levels, to get some items, to get some gold. And I want to see how these teams play it. I don't expect either team just to lay over and give this over.
You can kind of see why the joke or the mentality has always been that whatever team Kiddo plays for kind of wins by default. So it's like Kiddo and friends. For exactly this reason right here, he is very much that solo carry player. He likes to do his thing, and that's exactly what's working so far for the second game. So if this does manage to go to the side of Nibble, which ATK by no means out of it, will be the third
So Baron
game.
just 10 seconds out. Nibble making their way to the mid lane. Varus though the first target. Not you want to be available for the pick. The Cataclysm comes into 2 members. They're able to get out of the Cataclysm. Unique and Kiddo take it. And Fast taken quite low, but they just get deleted. Kiddo on the backline able to take down the Ashe, and that's the bot lane of ATK. Slayan just in seconds. This is going to be Baron now for the side of Nibble Esports. ATK not in the position to contest. They've got 2 tanks. They've got the Orianna. Orianna going to go to the back lane. Bot lane does have the TP available, but there's no way they contest this without getting picked off.
Yeah, they're trying to shove mid wave.
Too strong at the moment.
Buy as much time as they can. So this is supposed to be the bot lane like meta, but neither of these ADCs are allowed to play the game. Clash consistently just getting popped. Raven just not having access to the team fights, and it does not seem to matter as the gold lead almost not existent at this point, as well as the kill. So Nibble now back to that even Steven, but again Forge God himself ended them having the ornaments. So the later the game goes, it should start to slightly favor the side of Nibble.
I mean, he's given 5 items out now, including the one to himself. So that last item that we were waiting for was the one to Tiltosaurus, just to upgrade that Leandri's Anguish into, I think, Leandri's Torment. So both, all champions going to be a lot stronger.
Alder flip is going to break this game.
Alder is huge. Alder is huge. A minute 30, that's where we should be seeing the next fight. Doesn't look like there's going to be much siege coming in here. 5 members being alive on both sides. No one wants to step out of position now because death timers at the 39-minute mark are game-changing. You drop a member, you're waiting 40 seconds for that respawn. That's enough time to end the game.
You've got to throw everything in the kitchen sink at that Alder flip. Like, that is going to be the make or break moment to win this game. If ATK did have an option, that would be it. Minute 20, just till then, or minute in this case. Just slow the game down, clear waves, don't die, don't get picked. Don't be the guy who gets picked off just before the Alder spawns.
Alright, Ashe is over the wall. She needs to be careful now, stepping up. She needs to save that Crystal Arrow or Echo when he comes in. That's the only saving grace, though. Echo, though, putting pressure on these side lanes. Everyone knows the pressure. Nibble, they cannot afford to make a mistake now. ATK is that one. This game is the deciding game for ATK, whether they become the grand champions or whether they have to fight in another game.
It was looking done. Like the nail was basically in the coffin. The hammer was just that. Just had to strike it.
At the 15-minute mark is when that inhibitor turret fell in the mid lane.
Kiddo just reaching in, saying, "No, no, not yet. Give me the hammer. Thank you, friend." Elder.
Okay, Elder
4 seconds.
is going to be up.
Elder
Giovanni is in the vicinity.
Flippy bear, flippy
Echo
bear.
is here on the side. Both teams knowing this gets the flag in the bush just for the vision.
Okay.
Echo though, the Sejuani ult does go wide. That is a huge ultimate 2B down. The quarter of the Forge God comes in, going to knock off attacks. Jarvan though, Cataclysm onto the Caitlyn. Caitlyn going to use Gale Force to get on Jarvan, going to pop that GA. While this is happening though, Echo hasn't been featured yet, but it looks like Caitlyn is going to be the one going down very soon. Jarvan to get onto the back line. All members really low, but now they're going to start dropping. Varus taking down the Sard, Echo taking down the Ashe, or taking down the Caitlyn, and it looks like that is going to be game. The TP coming in from the orb into the mid lane. No members left available of ATK. The GG is being called in chat. It's just going to be a moment of time as Nibble do siege through the mid lane, going to be taking down this tower, going to be taking down this inhibitor. And I said, with these long spawn times, 30 seconds for each player, is not going to be anything that ATK can do. And this is going to be Nibble's 5 lonely men securing game number 2, and we are going to game number 3, ladies and gentlemen. An exciting 41-minute game where both teams neck and neck fighting it out. Sheepii, what a game.
Yeah, Echo has never seen the light of day, like, ever again. That champion is going to be permaban versus Kiddo. I will be very surprised if it makes it through.
What just happened? We said it looked like that was ATK's game. 15-minute Nexus turret. 15-minute Nexus turret. And where do we find ourselves at the 41-minute mark? A victory side or the side of Nibble. It's neck and neck for both teams now. This is do or die. There's no more extra spare game. This is the final game coming up for these teams to fight it out, to give it their all, and push for that victory to be crowned the champions of Season 4.
What do you mean? Kiddo's washed. That's what chat says. Kiddo's retired, sending that man to the retirement home. But no, he's back at it again, looking strong.
You know what? We scouted that retirement home for the best players, and Nibble has produced a good team now. A team that is contesting ATK. ATK, though, 3-time winners, looking to make it 4, not a team just to be pushed aside. We know how strong they are. We saw them in game number 1 with their dominant victory. We saw them in game number 2 with their dominant early game and very close fight. So game number 3 can still go either direction.
Yeah, I mean, in this case, does Kiddo have another champion in his pool that has the same output carry potential as that Echo? We saw him popping off versus Royalty with the likes of the Cassiopeia. Wasn't banned. Maybe the right situation. We have the same thing, but again, ATK are still looking so strong. This game, they let Kiddo slip out the back door. It was like, cool, you do your thing. Didn't really have to worry about him too much. Weren't able to get that last final hit. They got the inhib, like you said, at 15 minutes, just not able to get that final finish. First game was easy though.
First game was the easiest game. It was like a warm-up game. They were warming up, but it looks like Nibble turned on. Well, they turned things up and they said, okay, cool, we're not going to just give you that 2-0 that you've gotten last season. We're here to put a fight. And it's wonderful to see contenders into this. And do you think that there's a possibility of new victors being crowned today?
I don't know if they're new victors, because a lot of these players have been champions in the past, obviously not on the same team. Like, for example, Jutron's been part of ATK in the past as champion, so now he's playing for a different squad. We kind of just shuffled everyone up and put them into different teams, you know, the classic, the Nibble redemption arc, but nonetheless, may the better side win, and it could quite easily go either way.
All right, what a banger game that we just went through, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to take a short break, but we'll be back very soon with the action of game number 3. We'll be heading straight into Champ Select to bring you that action. And go grab some water, go quickly get a snack. Action's not stopping now. We'll be back soon with the final game of Season 4 Challenger Series.